Banking, fractional reserve banking. In this video, I'm going to focus on something in the banking business known as fractional reserve banking. Very few people seem to know about this, yet it's a hugely important topic because it's something that has a big effect in our economy. I'm going to start off by telling a joke. What's the difference between a magician and a bank manager? Nothing much. Why? Because both use tricks to conjure something out of nothing. Unfortunately, this isn't just a joke. It's actually a very serious matter. The key difference between a magician and a bank manager is that a magician is just a performer whose job it is to entertain people by performing tricks, whereas a bank manager is involved in what to my mind should be considered as fraudulent activity. A magician uses sleight of hand to produce, say, a rabbit out of a hat, whereas a bank manager creates money out of nothing through a perfectly legal financial process called fractional reserve banking. We might well applaud when a magician does his trick, but should we applaud when the bank manager does his trick? I don't think so. I would, however, be interested in knowing what kind of responses people might have to finding out about fractional reserve banking by the end of this video. This, of course, is assuming that the viewer does not already know about this trick. So what is fractional reserve banking? It's best explained by way of an example. Imagine that you are a good saver and you've saved $1,000. Your bank account, probably a savings account, is in credit by $1,000. It could just as well be pounds or yen or euros or whatever currency, it doesn't really matter. The amount of dollars can be substituted for any currency that's in circulation in your country because, as far as I'm aware, fractional reserve banking is carried out in all countries of the world. It's universal. Back to the example. The bank gives you interest on that amount in your savings account. You might look at your statement every month and you might feel happy. Your currency is working for you without you having to do anything at all. How marvellous! But I can assure you that the bank manager is far happier than you. Why? Well, because he can make this currency, your savings, work for him also many, many, many times over. How so? Well, the bank is legally required to keep hold of a certain percentage or fraction of that currency in its vaults, but the bank is permitted by law to loan out the remainder to other bank customers. The ratio of savings to loans could be 9-1. So this means up to 90% of the original $1,000 deposit could be loaned out. So this works out to be $900. This is only the first part of the process. The second part involves the person to whom the money is loaned. Say that person then buys a sofa with the loan using a cheque. The vendor of the sofa then deposits the cheque into their account. Their account is credited by $900. The bank can then loan out 90% of that amount deposited. This works out to be $810. This amount can then be loaned out to yet another customer who might want to buy something, say like a fridge. And this process then repeats again and again and again and again. Needless to say, the bank can earn interest on each and every loan that they make. This is one way in which the banks make their profits. This is literally then, as I've already said, money for nothing. Actually, to be correct, I should say currency for nothing. I refer you to an earlier video I made entitled Money versus Currency to get a better understanding of what I mean. I should also say that this is the process by which currency is created in an economy, but this is perhaps a topic for another video. Back to the matter at hand. In the example I gave, the ratio I stated was 9-1, but the ratio of savings to loans could be 11-1 or even 15-1. It should be known that the higher the ratio, the more profits the banks make, and vice versa, obviously. But in any event, to make more money, all they need to do is adjust the ratio, increasing it slightly. How marvellous for them. No wonder the bank manager is happy. The truth is that the fractional reserve banking is basically a confidence trick. It's a con, pure and simple, and it's perpetrated on us, the general public, by the banks. It works at our expense, and it relies on our trust and our lack of knowledge in order to work. Don't let banks profit from your ignorance. The purpose of this video is to call out the cons and expose the con men. To my mind, they are all criminals, and like all criminals, there is only one place they should be, and that's in jail behind bars. Given that all this is entirely legal, this should perhaps make you call into question the laws of the land. It certainly makes me question the lawmakers as well as the legislation that's introduced by them. You might think that I'm making all this up, but I can assure you that I'm not. You can always verify what I've said by doing some research of your own. In fact, I would very much encourage you to do so. I would also highly recommend you looking at a great series on YouTube by Mike Maloney called The Hidden Secrets of Money. Wise up and rise up.